Hello, party people. I probably should have brought this up when the Trans Lifeline charity was still up, for its duration of 1 month, probably every year. So I don't know anything about HRT, about transgender stuff in general. I know what I've seen, and that's about it. And possibly probably heard, I had to look up like side effects and stuff, and what it does do, what it doesn't do, and it seems like the overall message is do your research, do your research, do your research. Now, long-term use of HRT can make you more at risk for different kinds of cancer. But something intrigued me when I think it was Finn. He was saying how he would consider, I don't think it was he himself actually. I just stand corrected him. He knows people who are on HRT who would consider not using HRT when around the age of 40 or medically recommended 60. And that kind of confused me because, from my inexperience, I didn't know that was a common thing. I thought that once you attempt to transition to, whatever new life or whatever you want to call it, it was supposed to be permanent, or at least a lot longer than 40 years old. So I had to do some research, and I had to do some Google. I believe the Google search terms I used were long-term side effects of hormone replacement therapy. Again, I know nothing about this. Google is teaching me right now. One of the searches is at what age should you stop taking hormone HRT? As you get older, and especially after the age of 60, the risks of HRT may start to outweigh the benefits. This is because you'll usually find that menopause symptoms improve as you get older, so you're less likely to need HRT to help with the symptoms. There's a lot of stuff that was said there that I did not know. Also, I'm not sure if this applies to transgender people who, or is it politically correct term trans, who get bottom surgery, or if it's just, for lack of a better term, the top. I really don't know a lot about that, and some of the long-term irreversible effects of HRT, the most common one is breast growth is irreversible, which makes sense if you think about it, because it can't just go away. I was under that impression. It includes long-term use. Side effects can cause heart attack, stroke, breast cancer, and blood clots in the lungs and legs. So apparently it affects circulation a bit. So this is what always made me wonder, was because if there's no real data to analyze what would happen if you took HRT for like the rest of your life, if there's no data on that, I feel like how does science know it's bad to take it the rest of your life? So clearly at some point there must have been people who tried that, and the findings were published. Is it okay to stay on HRT for life? According to the National Health Service, the NHS in the United Kingdom, there is no definitive limit on how long people can take HRT. However, it is important to talk with a doctor before starting or extending usage. I very much agree with that. Like, especially if you've had the same doctor a large portion of your life, I wouldn't exactly trust the stuff I see on the internet. I would use it as a supplement, but then I would speak to my doctor about it. and I would listen to every single thing my doctor said, because I mean, like, most of your questions should be answered just by doing your own research, I feel like. um I'm looking at some of the other questions here now. This is all from Google. What is the downfall of HRT? Increased risk of uterine cancer. In parentheses, only if you still have your uterus and aren't taking progestin along with estrogen. I don't even know what progestin is. Increased risk of heart disease. Only if you use HRT after years after menopause starts. Blood clots and stroke. Gallbladder disease. Yeah, there's I think this is a lot more complicated than people think. It's not like you just pop a pill and suddenly you're for lack of a better term, different, or who you want to be, more likely. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not trans, nor do I have any desire to be. But this, if I had a desire to be, this would scare the shit out of me. I mean, I understand it's kind of a lose-lose situation. You could either risk your health or risk being someone you're not the rest of your life, someone you don't want to be. And I don't know, it feels like it's a recipe to go through life struggling. Obviously you're going to have identity issues, probably a lot more mental health stuff that's not even mentioned with all this. So I guess HRT doesn't cause directly side effects that are negative to mental health. Everything else outside of, I guess, the physical body, such as society, for example, I would imagine that can affect mental health, obviously. Well, there's people out there a lot braver than I am. But yeah, if I wanted to be trans, I probably wouldn't be able to do it. Like, this sounds really scary to me. And it's, I mean, like on Twitch, for example, right? It's not like you make a lifetime connection with someone on their channel. So that applies to other channel themes as well, if you catch my drift. But really, like, would you really want to see anyone going through the very bad long-term effects of HRT? Because I assume at some point there could be suffering. And I mean, like, unless a person wronged you, I feel like, why would you want to have someone you feel acquainted with, enough to chat with them? Why would you want to see that person suffer? Or, why would you want to see them not be able to who they want to be anymore because of physical health side effects? And, for example, they have to stop taking HRT when they're in their 40s and 50s instead of after 60, or, for the rest of their life, for that matter. I don't know if there's certain genetics that predispose you to certain side effects, but I imagine somewhere there is. We just haven't found it yet. At the end of the day, though, everyone's body is different. Your response to a chemical is different. What is a hormone considered? Is that like, is it a cell? Is it like, I'm not sure what scientific term it falls under, but a product of the human body, just going through the motions. I don't know. But anyway, I just thought I'd share this and just give a little insight into how little I may or may not know about this subject. Until then, I'm just gonna be hanging around. I mean, again, I do wish that I addressed this when the Trans Lifeline charity was set up, but it's always next year. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves and each other.